Rowan and Anna have recently finished their tiny house build and moved into their tiny house. They did a DIY build, 7.8 metres long. It's a protruding wheel guard trailer. So that means that it's a tandem axle and the wheel guard sits out into their house a little bit. It means that it gives them an extra 80 mil in terms of vertical height in their tiny house. They got deck mounts on the driver's side and the passenger side, meaning that they can receive a deck really easily on both of the long walls of their tiny house. Anna and Rowan were really excited to pick up their tiny house trailer in around July of 2019. And so it's been about 2 years since that date. So now we get to check in with them and see how their build has gone. We get to see their tiny house in this visual tour, and we get to hear about their journey in the podcast interview. So check out the Candid Tiny House podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, if you haven't already, to hear more about how they've been and how their build has gone and any key things that they have learned along the way that they can share with you. I hope you enjoy today's episode. I'm Shannon Schultz with Candid Tiny House. Let's jump into it.
These are our steps up to the loft. So they just slide out and then you just walk up them.
I love that. That is such a good design.
But yeah, I really learnt on the job, which is, I think, probably the best way to learn anyways.
Putting the bathroom wall in, it's like, oh, it's not quite lining up. And I'm like, yeah, that was my fault from the beginning.
What you see, hear, smell about each other, that just amplifies.
It's going to be way better when we start building every day.
Hi, Anna and Rowan. Thanks so much for showing us your tiny house today. How are you going?
Yeah,
we're
great.
really well. How are you going?
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm super excited. I can see a little pitched roof in the background and a deck and an awning.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, would you mind giving us a little tour, please? Let us have a look inside.
Yeah,
For
sure.
Cool. All right, here's our little tiny.
Where are you located?
We're in Black Hill, which is west of Newcastle. So we're looking over Lake Macquarie.
Beautiful spot.
Such a great spot. We're always pinching ourselves that we landed this place. Over here is our distribution board box. So inside there is our solar setup. We have 6 solar panels and 3 batteries. They've all got 2.5 kilowatt of energy. And this distribution board box tells us how much energy we're using, what's going on in the day. So at the moment, we've got 77% energy.
Great. So what sort of batteries did you use?
BYD is the brand of the batteries. And we got them from Rainbow Power Company as recommended by Fred.
Perfect.
Thanks, Fred. We took on board all of his recommendations. So here's the back of the tiny. And as you can see, where there's the pine shadow clad, it actually got extremely weathered within a few weeks, if not a month max of being here.
What was it coated with?
3 coats of Osmo oil. It was definitely UV resistant, weather resistant. It was their recommended oil. It was very much facing south, so it wasn't getting any sunshine to dry off. And I think it just remained wet for a longer ongoing period of time. That sound is my dog, Bungie, our dog. Actually, Rowan's dog, but I claim him.
Okay.
We've got 2 45-litre gas drums, which goes into this for our instantaneous hot water system for shower, washing machine, and for the sink. That's our only 3 outlets of water in the house. That window up the top is our loft window. This little octagon window here is our toilet window.
That's a really cute feature. Where did you get that window from?
We made that from scratch.
Really? It's so pretty.
Oh, thank you. We really like it. It took quite a long time because it's opening. So, and we had never made a window before. So lots of learning. So this is the front of the house at this stage. We just put this deck up in July. Here's our little outdoor seating kind of setup.
Wow, it's a very wide deck. That's so luxurious.
Yeah, it's super nice and lush. It's the full 7.5 meters long by 3 meters, and we got it for free off Gumtree from a house that wanted their deck dismantled. So as long as we could dismantle it, we could get it for free. So
Fantastic.
yeah, I know, it was great.
How long is your tiny house?
Well, it's 7.8. Yeah, so the deck is just slightly shorter than the 7.8, but close enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Can you tell me about the height, the width, the weight of your tiny house?
So we built it to 4.3 meters high. From edge to edge, it's 2.5 meters. I think we got it weighed just prior to putting in our kitchen. So it's when pretty much the shell of the house was done. The electrical, all the interior cladding and everything was in. And at that point it weighed, was it 3.3 tons?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was just prior to putting the caboodle kitchen in.
We're not entirely sure because we
Yeah.
never got a final weigh. But we basically made sure that whatever it is that we were towing wasn't over 4 ton because we wanted a 500 kilo buffer. So I think it was around the 3.9 mark.
Look! And it's going to be covered up a bunch, but shit! Let's sell it.
So yeah, so you walk into the tiny. At this stage, we've got a little free couch, but we're planning to get a nice big corner couch there. This is our back wall, which looks out over the dam, which is super lovely. And we've got some storage up there, storage shelf, a couple of lights and our big screen.
Whoa, lockdown just got easier.
Exactly. Lockdown just got so much easier. We designed these stained glass windows with a local artist in Canberra. So we just drew them up and he made them for us so they could fit the house perfectly.
I just love stained glass windows. You've done such a gorgeous job. That's so tasteful. I love it.
Oh, thank you. We really like them too. So here we've got our storage. Yeah, our original plan and design was to do stairs leading up into the loft, but we, 1, got overbuilding, and 2, ran short of time, and 3, we wanted more storage space. So we just got these cupboards off Gumtree. So here's our ladder up to the loft. Okay, so here's our loft. We've got a little grey feature wall for funsies.
That's cute.
It's really nice. It's super comfy. Got a skylight, which makes all the difference to see the stars at night and also feel less cooped up in here.
Yeah.
And then here's just all of our bits and pieces, bit of storage.
Yeah, but no clothes up there.
Exactly. Yeah, this is just for sleeping. Get dressed downstairs. In those cupboards is like some sheets and some bedding and some more books and like jewelry and stuff like that. And then so coming down, here's this part of the house.
Yeah.
So we have the fridge here, our little washing machine and laundry kind of section here. Here's the door to the bathroom. Hello.
Hello.
Here's our shower.
Great. What did you do for that? Was it acrylic or something for the walls?
Yeah, so this is a 3-sided Perspex acrylic.
And it
bathroom
fits. So
place.
it sounds like your bathroom your shower is a standard size then.
In fact, it's bigger than the one we had in Canberra. It's 1 by 1 meters. So it's really spacious. Yeah, we wanted a really nice, spacious bathroom so that we could both happily fit in there and happily shower together. Yeah. So it's pretty lush. And then we've got this part of the bathroom, which is just obvious toiletries, more toiletries,
And another spectacular window.
And the spectacular window. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I
And we did
love
this
it.
wall.
Mustard?
It is mustard. It's exactly right. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's a gorgeous aesthetic.
And
I really
little
like what you're doing.
trinkets. Thank you. And this is our composting toilet, which decomposes inside that chamber. So that's the poo that we take out every month or so into a big composting bin, and then the wee we empty more regularly.
Which brand did you get of your composting toilet?
Nature's Head is the brand of our toilet.
So does that mean that it doesn't drop down through the toilet, through the ground?
No, it doesn't drop down through the ground at all. It just stays here in this chamber, and every month or so we'll unclip it on both sides, lift that up and take this chamber out and empty that into a big composting bin. And over months, you know, it just turns to dirt, really.
Yeah, great.
And you can mix it through with some other fertilizer and soil into plants, non-edible for sure, and edible where maybe we'll put a little bit in, but not too much. We kind of just liked the idea of it being really easy DIY versus dealing with the whole separating the water, separating all of the different management things, as you said, like the beams underneath the trailer.
We've been here full time now, and it's been, I think, just over a month, and it's ready to be emptied.
So this is our range hood. Yeah, it's pretty fun. We put some floorboards around it just to make it go with the aesthetic. And here we have a pretty simple little cook-up section where we use that gas as well for cooking. Kettle, toaster, and here we have a little oven. It can do both microwave and grill. Yeah, so here's the rest of our kitchen. We decided we wanted a really nice big sink. So it's a 1 meter wide sink, really nice for doing big loads of dishes. And then here, this is just, you know, standard drawers full of stuff. This is a caboodle kitchen from Bunnings. Again, we cheated. We had planned and designed the kitchen we wanted to build, but we ended up buying this caboodle kitchen because, again, I think we were short of time. It was such a reasonable price, and we kind of overbuilding as well, and cabinetry is not easy, whereas buying this pre-made just makes life so much easier. So we wanted to make it a little bit personal. Each of our handles are different.
Oh,
just for
fun. Yeah. Okay, great. It's a beautiful colour you've chosen. And what did you use for your bench tops?
So the bench top and our shelves up here and our floorboards are all from Thor's Hammer in Canberra, which is a great little organisation that upcycle old wood into beautiful pieces of furniture. So our floors are from them, and yeah, our kitchen bench is from them, and our shelves, and they just are really lovely. So it's all secondhand. In fact, most of our stuff is secondhand. So our doors are secondhand, most of our windows are secondhand. Most of the furniture's, actually all of the furniture's from Gumtree.
I love Gumtree.
I love Gumtree too. It's so great. So they made this kitchen bench for us exactly how we wanted it. We wanted it to be, 35 mil thick. We wanted these exact specifications. And they did that. But, this bench cost $2,000 and the floors cost another $2,000 and all the shelves cost maybe another $1,000 max. Yeah.
So you've spent money on the wood and you see it, like it looks beautiful. It's a real feature.
It's really beautiful. It makes it really earthy. We really like wood, which is why we went with the feature wall of timber as well, we didn't want to overdo the timber and make the house feel too small. And I think that's why we chose white walls, because white kind of makes it feel a bit more open, but at the same time, we wanted to maximize the timber.
I still love those contrasts between the dark wood and the light walls. Looks great. And you've got some lovely sconce lighting all through, I'm noticing, because I love sconce lighting.
Oh, I do too. They're so nice. It's so lovely at night time. We just have a couple of them on, and once we have a big L-shaped couch, it'll be super cozy.
Yeah, lovely. Is that sort of like your breakfast bar / dining space there that we can see?
Yeah, so we often sit here for brekkie. If we're working from home and it's a bit cold outside, we might sit here, and we'll bring around a chair often like this. So one of us might be here and the other one over there. So we've both got leg room and space for our laptops or our food. But for the most part, most eating occurs either on the deck during the day and at night time, on the deck or on the couch.
Yeah, you're so lucky to have such a luxurious deck there.
We wanted lots of seating space so that we can have plenty of friends over and we can lie down and get comfy. And this couch, for example, folds out into a bed, so we can sleep under the stars if we want to, just take it outside or sleep here on the deck in summertime.
You just need a mozzie net.
Definitely. So this whole deck is going to be covered in fly screen. So here in the distance, we've got the dam, and behind the dam are our solar panels.
Are you parked under shade then, essentially?
Yeah, exactly. We are parked under shade. And we actually just wanted to avoid the hassle of putting the solar panels on the roof, because we're not even facing north very well. So it's such a low pitch. We're covered with trees, so the shade's rubbish. I mean, it's amazing. We love it. But for solar, it wouldn't be the best energy absorber.
But this is just a glorious house. I love it. So pretty.
Oh, cool. Thank you. We really like it too. It's super cozy.
Thanks so much, Anna and Rowan, for sharing us your tiny house journey. It's been a great chat with you. Thank you.
And thank you so much for having us on. The pleasure's really all ours. It's been really nice having a trip down memory lane and reminiscing on the build and how it went.
Yeah, it really has been. This has been really nice. And I think it's just so great what you and Fred are doing, Shannon, to make tiny house building more accessible, less intimidating for people, by both creating trailers specifically tailored to tiny houses and also obviously through your educational platform. We're obviously massive fans of the tiny house movement, and I think it's initiatives like what you guys are doing that make it more accessible, which is awesome. So keep it up.
See you. Thanks.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode of Candid Tiny House with Rowan and Anna. If you pop over to the podcast of Candid Tiny House and click on Rowan and Anna's interview, you'll hear them talking about their process of getting insurance for their tiny house. They faced a few obstacles, they've overcome them, and we explore that issue in some depth about how DIY builders can get tiny house insurance for their homemade tiny house. In the podcast, they also talk about transporting their tiny house through a tight spot, the best and worst bits about building their tiny house together as a couple. They also talk about some of the things that helped them maintain their relationship whilst they were building together. It's a pretty intense time, they're together all the time, and so they talk about the ways that they managed that particular unusual situation, as well as giving us some really helpful advice for first-time tiny house builders. Candid Tiny House is brought to you by Fred's Tiny Houses and Tiny House University. And all the people that we interview for this series have done a course with Fred's Tiny Houses and have gone on to build their tiny house on a Fred's Tiny Houses trailer. Please share this episode with anyone you think might enjoy it. Stay candid.